Welcome back to Quarantine Apologetics, defending the faith while under lockdown. I'm Alan Rule. This may be the last day I have to do QA, Quarantine Apologetics, on my iPhone. I'm expecting to pick up my computer later today. I had to get it in the mail because all the Apple stores in my city are closed. So I got to go to the UPS store. Okay. Now, I want to talk about the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, the Muslims, based on the Quran, say Jesus did not die. He somehow escaped death and was vindicated, exalted up into heaven, assumed into heaven, ascended into heaven, either way. And the Christian view is death, resurrection, and ascension. All right, let's take a look at this. And in the Muslim view, you have a couple views inside of their view. You have the swoon theory of Shabir Ali, and then you have the various swap theories, Judas, Simon of Cyrene, someone else, etc. So you have these theories, and now it says in the Quran that the disciples of Jesus were Muslims. Okay, so a Muslim would have to assume that the apostles, the original 12, 11 at this time, held to the traditional theory. The Muslim theory, not the traditional, the Muslim theory. And you had Paul on the other side promoting a Christian theory. The Muslim apostles versus the Christian Paul. Paul's preaching death and resurrection. The apostles are preaching swoon theory or swap theory. So, now the question is, when we look at the pages of the New Testament, do we see friction between St. Paul and the other apostles, Peter, James, John, etc.? Yes, we do. We see friction between them on the role of the law. On the role of the law. And Paul, there are chapters on this in Galatians and Acts of the Apostles. So Luke, the author of Acts, was fully, both Paul and Luke were fully, they had enough integrity to show where they were disagreeing with the core of the apostles, with the main apostles, on the role of the law. It's all throughout Galatians, it's all throughout Acts. Now, something like this, the death and resurrection of Christ versus the escape from death exaltation theory, is equally as big, if not bigger, an issue with St. Paul and his apostles. Why is this nowhere in the Pauline writings or why is it nowhere in the writings of Acts? I mean, Paul talks about the crucifixion, but not in a, like, trying to defend it. He died, he didn't swoon, he didn't swap out, he didn't. And surely Luke would have picked this up because he had no problem saying where they disagreed on other things. The criteria of embarrassment applies. It's not good if a prominent newcomer like Paul disagrees with the original apostles. That's true. That's not good. Paul didn't think that was good. I'm sure the apostles didn't think it was good. I don't think Luke thought it was good. But they had the decency to record it down. In Luke 15, they have an entire council on this thing. They had a council on this, but they're like, oh yeah, we forgot to debate the crucifixion and resurrection. But they debate a formality. I'm sorry, that's not going to work. And because of that, the whole idea of Muslim apologetics, specifically with the crucifixion, is not what does the evidence say. It's how do we get around the evidence. But there's no evidence of a quarrel between these two camps. And by the way, this argument could go be used for many subjects. For example, the Injil. You would have thought that the Muslim apostles of Jesus would have believed in the existence of an Injil, but no one heard of the Injil till the Quran. Okay. How come Paul's not saying, no, just believe the stuff I'm telling you. Forget about that thing that some people call the Injil. Paul doesn't argue against the Injil. He doesn't argue against swoon or swap theory. He doesn't argue against the things that Muslim and Christians differ on. The only thing they argue is the observance of the law. And the Muslims don't fall on either side of this issue, because Muslims don't observe Mosaic law, and they don't believe what Paul believed either, so it's irrelevant to them. How come they show something, Acts and Galatians, that's irrelevant to the Muslim-Christian debate, but not all the other stuff they differ about? Why isn't it there? I'll tell you why it was there. Because no one was preaching swoon theory or swap theory. No one. No one was preaching about a stupid Injil either. The only thing they disagreed about was the law. Now, that's a big deal. And we can see the debates that happened with it. Anyway, hopefully I will get my new computer today. Hopefully in a couple hours. I got to buy some adapters and a few other things. But I will have this computer. And hopefully the next time you watch Quarantine Apologetics, you will have high quality video, just like the first 30 or so of Quarantine Apologetics. So anyway, stay safe, stay healthy, God bless. I'll see you soon.